For you, my name is Elliot and or Muselk, a YouTuber with 8 million subscribers. I am here with the other main host, Grace, who is the director of Click Management. And today we've got a very special guest. It's Mr. Fresh Asian. Or just Fresh.
Fresh.
Just fresh.
I play Fortnite.
He does play
plays
Fortnite.
We play Fortnite. So Fresh, if you don't know him, has had a pretty incredible story. He's now got almost 3 million subs on YouTube.
Yes.
Crazy. He's one of the biggest
Million
Fortnite,
followers on Twitch.
one of the biggest Fortnite streamers.
1.6.
All right. No one was, not that anyone's counting, but okay.
One of the biggest Fortnite streamers in the world. And I think while obviously a lot of people know you for playing Fortnite and everything you do online, I feel like you have one of the most interesting stories. I have like a very soft spot for Fresh. I love this kid. And I think not enough people know the grind that you've been through and know the come up story.
I don't, I've talked to Fresh a lot in like bits and pieces about, the history and the come up, and obviously, me and Lachlan and Laserbeam all, when did we start playing? When was it?
That was like
December 2018.
It was all around when Kevin became a thing.
Yeah, I think around December 2018. You're not wrong, or maybe slightly before that. But
because I remember the first time we all met Fresh was actually at the Click boat party in 18, which must have been late November.
So it would have been but we would have started playing with you properly though earlier in 2018.
Yeah.
But long story short, I've obviously. We've played together like pretty much every day since then, or at least every week, as Fresh carries me in all my dumb Fortnite video challenges, and kind of know the story from that point on. Although we'll probably recap at some point. But yeah, you've been being a pro gamer for very much since
literally my whole life.
Literally his whole life, he was always a pro gamer.
Yeah, I think let's take it back. I want to know about Kid Fresh. Like, what were you like as a kid? Like, what was your upbringing like? What was your family situation like when you were like young, under 10? And I say this
Tell us about childhood trauma.
I say this because Fresh is still only 17. So the story has happened all very quickly. But okay, let's take it back. What were you like as a kid?
What was I like? I was a very cooked boy. Oh gosh.
You weren't a straight A student? What?
Nope. Straight up D student at school.
Straight D's, baby.
Yep. Straight D's, taking the D's.
Straight dubs in Fortnite though.
Yeah. So do we really want to go like?
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
I want to go back at least to like, when did you get into gaming? Like,
I want to hear like 7 or 8 year old Fresh. Like, I want to know where you were growing up, what your home was like what were you doing at school before you played games, or have you been playing games your whole life?
Okay, well, I've been playing games my whole life. Well, pretty much. All right, I'll start from the very
out of the womb. They gave him a Game Boy.
Yeah, like parents. Like, we're gonna get sad real quick.
They gave me a Game Boy.
Parents divorced when I was 8 months old, and then pretty much since then, I've just I would live 1 week at my dad's and 1 week at my mum's, and like both sides completely opposite. So my mum would be government housing, like a cockroach infested house in Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt, for people that don't know, is a pretty low socioeconomic area in Australia. I think probably one of the lowest. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's not a great place.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it was just so different because I'd go to my dad's, rich guy, mansion, like a 28-acre property.
Ooh.
And then I'd just go back to my mum's, and then I was just playing on the street. Like, I was just like, I was one of the street kids. Like, go do dumb shit at the plaza. Look,
Try to imagine you as a street kid.
And did you what was your group of friends like, or what was your brothers and sisters like?
Yeah,
I never really had a proper connection with my siblings. Like, they were all like I don't have a full brother or sister. Just all step siblings, and I've never really had proper.
You have like 6, right? Or
like, I've got 2 brothers on my mum's side, and then my dad. Like 5 step brothers, 4 step brothers, like 3 step sisters.
Lost count.
Yeah, my dad's been around. I forgot what I was saying.
So you were
What were we up
spending
to?
a week on at your mum's, a week on at your dad's.
And at my dad's, I had a stepbrother that played games, and that's pretty much how I first got into it. And it was the same at my mum's as well. My stepbrother played games as well, and they were both playing TF2.
Oh,
Really?
yes, the days. Oh, my God. And this is actually, I totally forgot about this when we sat down today, that it was even going to be a topic. But, but this is so funny because before I knew that I knew Fresh, if that
What do you
makes
mean?
sense. So, I mean, Fresh could probably, so TF2 was the first game you properly,
It was like
properly got
like
into.
I always played like browser games. Like
Yeah.
that's
Mini
just what
clip
I've
back
always
in the day,
done. Yeah.
didn't we all?
But then TF2, like I would play on my mum's laptop. My brother would let me play sometimes if I did some sit-ups at my dad's house. It's like,
So 5 years ago, when I first started doing YouTube, and I was, you know, a wee
5
baby
years
YouTuber with
ago.
100,000 subs, and Fresh 5 years ago would have been what, 12?
yeah.
11,
crazy.
12. So back then, I had my own custom server on TF2. I had a couple of custom servers where I'd, you know, basically let my community come and all play together, and we'd do really, really like fun game modes and crazy stuff. And I only found this out like a year ago, like after Fresh and I had been playing together in Fortnite for like 6 months. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I used to play on your server,
Really?
where I had this custom game called TF2 Zombies." And Fresh
Phew.
was apparently like a regular there. And apparently, if you go
Yeah.
back and look at some of my old TF2 custom Zombies videos, you can see Fresh in those videos when he was like 12 years old, which is insane.
I used to play that server a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy. I want to see those old videos.
it was,
I need to go back and find it. I need to go back and
100%.
find a clip.
I wish there was like a stats thing you could search up for players on the server.
I reckon there might be.
Yeah.
I had all those tools. I'm going to have to go back and
You
have
got
a
to
look.
do it. Okay, so taking it back though. So
Taking
you
it
first got into
back.
games through your stepbrothers, right? And what were you playing on? Like, was it just like a scuffed kind of laptop setup? And
Well-
how much were you
Fresh.
playing?
So at my dad's, I wasn't really able to play that much. But like I said, like my stepbrother there would let me play sometimes, like if he was going out or something. And then at my mum's, I would use her laptop, and I still didn't really know about multiplayer. So I would I would search it up, and I would set up my own like bot lobbies in TF2. It's like creative in Fortnite at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'd just sit there and just play by myself.
And were you good at it?
That's how I got good, because I just did that so much. It was the same with like Minecraft. I didn't know about multiplayer. I just played single player. Like,
And
I
were you
was just-
playing a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was playing a lot.
So,
And so-
would TF2, do you reckon, be the first game where you made it like a focus to become like good? Or were
Yeah.
you still kind of just messing around?
Well, the thing is, on my dad's side, my stepbrother was like a professional demo man. Like he played TF2 professionally.
the old Oz Fortress scene?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like he was a really good jumper as well, like TF2 jumping. And it's just like ever since then, I always used to watch, and I just loved,
Being the best.
yeah, like just being able to just get good at a game. To
And
just-
how old were you then?
Um,
Like 11 or 12 you must have been.
yeah, around. Well, I started playing like as soon as TF2 came out. That was like kindergarten,
2007?
2007?
2007.
which is when I was in kindergarten.
That's
That's
crazy.
I was
Crazy.
5.
And did you have like other things you were interested in? Like, were you ever interested in like sports or other stuff, or was it always games?
Well, I used to play like soccer. Like that was only for like a couple years. That was when I was like 14, 15 though.
Yeah.
Like did a bit of rugby at school, a little bit of tennis, a lot of swimming. But I ended up just quitting all that just because I loved.
Love the games.
Just-
And then
Like literally since I've been 5, I've been playing every day.
that's crazy. That's amazing.
So he's
And
got a
then
leg
as-
up on the competition. This is why he beats me.
And then as you were growing up, what were you like in school? Like, what was that like for you?
Well, with school, it's like, because I went to private schooling in a good area. Like I would travel outside of Mount Druitt, like, and it's just so
Mount
different
Druitt.
because everyone there is like,
From a different
they've been
background.
brought up very different. Like they've got
Yeah.
like perfect families, a lot of like money, and that's also
Mummy's picking me up in the Range Rover.
Yeah, and that's also where I learned the hustle, if you know what I mean. I used to go to school, like, from, like, year 5 and above. That's when I used to just go to school and just sell stuff. Just
like what?
Nothing bad. Just, like, if anyone needed something. Actually,
Like, I actually want to be selling because we can cut this out, but, like, I'm actually curious.
What was it?
literally anything.
Like what?
Like, if someone asks
Body
for something,
parts.
oh, not like that, but like,
We selling boxes of Tic Tacs, or we
it's
selling?
like
I
I
think
go,
you can talk
if
about
anyone,
it. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
anyone needed darts, I would get darts. Like, but it's like, cause I don't know, with their families, it's weird. It's like they have money, but their parents wouldn't let them buy anything.
Yeah, you're not getting let
Yeah,
out of
that's
sight.
true.
Whereas,
Yeah.
when
So
you-
if they wanted something from eBay, like they'll just give me cash and I would take like some more money.
yeah,
And there's like in-game currencies for like FIFA and stuff.
just like weird
Just
things.
like that's what I mean. Literally anything.
Yeah,
And like
that you know, when you're an adult, you take for granted. But if you come from like a really locked down family,
yeah.
like there's so many weird things that you can't
Yeah.
get your hands on.
Right. Okay. So you were playing games after school. You were going to school,
He was
but
selling
it was
drugs,
weird because you were growing
selling
up in
darts.
like kind of a rough neighborhood,
Yeah.
and then going to this private school because I guess like that was through your dad and stuff, and you were selling stuff at school to try and make money. It was the early days of the hustle.
Because like when I go to my dad's, it's like I had two different.
Lives.
Yeah. No, literally two different lives.
Yeah.
At my dad's, just like it's normal. I didn't really like it there,
Why not?
just because like I had a stepmom there as well. She wasn't really the nicest person.
Evil stepmom.
Yeah, literally. Because my dad would work late. Like he used to own like a really big lighting company.
Yeah.
So that's how he got most of his money. But yeah, he would always come home late, and it's like, just like stepmom, stepbrothers.
It's not a
like-
nice vibe.
Yeah, it just wasn't like I didn't really feel like I was a part of the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was there every 2 weeks, like every fortnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Probably.
after a point, did you just move in full time with your mum?
See, there's something I have never mentioned before. There was something that happened.
What happened?
So
if you want to talk about it.
I don't care. So it's like,
He
I
does
think
not
like
care.
the thing is with me, I move on and just forget.
Mm.
I'm trying to remember, because like I never look back. Like I never, like you guys know, I never really
Yeah.
talk about my history,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like my journey. Like I just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's like
His history was
my stepbrother at my dad's side was like he was a very
his
aggressive
history.
person, and it's like we came back from a trip and my mum saw like some bad bruises on me when I went to shower, and then we just had like this whole like we went to the police station,
Wait, hold
sorted
on,
some
what did you
stuff,
say?
and then we just saw like some bad person, and it's like brother at my dad's side was like he was a very aggressive person, and it's
His
like we
brother
came
was
back
there
from a
too.
trip and my mum saw like some bad bruises on me when I went to shower, and then we just had like this whole like we went to the police station, sorted some stuff. I forgot what it's
Ooh.
called, like an AVO,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
like I just and I've always wanted to move in with my mum, like move fully, but it's
Yeah.
like I couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's
But then
kind
that
of
became like a catalyst for it.
yeah. So we
Whoa.
went through like court, all that stuff. That was probably like court is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is scary
How
because
old
I didn't.
were you?
See, this is what I mean. I actually can't remember how old I was. I think I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, I just stopped talking to my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like the main reason I stopped talking to him is because he like sided with my stepmom and my stepbrother and stuff. Like
Yeah.
he got them like private soliciting and like
yeah.
to go against me.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So I was
Yeah.
like,
That's crazy.
it's like I don't hate my dad. It's like
No.
he was a good guy. Like it's very weird.
It's just an all round like horrible situation where it's
Yeah.
just there's no winners.
And since then, I just stayed at my mum's. Like, even like, my dad didn't really, even though he had like money and stuff, it wasn't really that different. Like, I never really got anything crazy. Like,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
dad didn't like buy me. Like, he got me a laptop, and that's how I got like that's how I started getting all my gear for my setup and stuff. Because I went to local lands.
That's yeah, that was the next stage I wanted to actually get to. I mean, unless there's more that you want to
No, I think like I'm just curious to hear. So when you moved in with your mum, you were still playing games all the time, just like on her laptop or whatever.
That's when I started playing more, And my stepbrother there gave me his old computer.
Okay.
So that's when I was able to get into like other games, like
because that's what I was curious to hear. Is it's like when
laptop.
did you take the step from just like playing games after school to getting to a point where you were like, I really want to get good at this and like take it from beyond just like me playing in my bedroom to like, okay, I need a better setup or I need to like get my name out there a little bit.
See it was around that time when I fully moved in with my mum.
Yeah.
Because it's what I always wanted to do. I just love the idea of being a professional
And being the best.
and just being able to just win. Like ever since I started grinding like the bot lobbies in TF2, like I would be able to go into like a public match and I would always just be first leaderboard. Like it would be a pub match.
Yeah. But there's still a lot of good players in TF2 pub matches.
And I would just always be first on leaderboard.
You know what's really interesting? I think TF2, more than any other game I've ever seen, it like drives people to be competitive players. I feel like you either go one of two ways in that game. And not to get too specific because I know not everyone listening to this is going to know everything about TF2, but you're either like one of the weirdos who just sits around like memeing in games, like not actually doing that much, or you're one of the people who just becomes obsessed with becoming the best. Because I feel like TF2, more than any other game I've ever played, you can feel when you're getting better. And if you see someone who's good at a class, you're like, hot damn, that guy knows what he's doing.
I spent so much hours on Spy. I would say 80% of my hours would be on Spy.
Oh, ad break. Poggers. Can't even skip it. Poggers.
Watch carefully.
Just letting trick stabs and...
That's how my play... Like, my play style in most games is like, it's very different.
Yeah.
And that's just from Spy.
Yeah.
Because Spy is like, you be weird.
You be weird.
Like, literally, you just be weird. Like, you hide in the dumbest spots.
Yeah.
And then you'll come out and suddenly, like, half their team is just dead.
And I've never had a game as much where I feel it in TF2, where I'm like, I either got outplayed, if there's someone who's really good, I'm like, man, that guy played that well, or I'm like, I just outplayed that person and it feels good.
Yeah.
And whether you're getting outplayed or you're outplaying people, you're like, I want to learn to do that trick I just saw that guy do. And then that